I have to let my guard down. I've been working on this for years. I've been in the music industry for 18 years, and there has been this guard up that is bringing me to what they call burnout. Now, listen. I'm not talking about burnout where it's like, oh man, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. It's a burnout where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to continue to put myself through feeling freaked out all the time. I'm not going to continue to put myself through feeling like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing all the time. I'm going to bring my anxiety levels down, my fear levels down, my levels of I'm not enough. All those levels got to go down. I have to relax my shoulders more. I have to calm my nerves more. I got to soften my face muscles more. I have to bring my guard down because it's ruining my self-esteem. Now, I was born, right, with a low self-esteem. I came out here on these streets. It was kind of like, I don't really know. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not too sure. That was me. Now, I didn't necessarily verbalize that because I was very playful, you understand. And because I was so playful, people saw different characteristics in my personality that they could train, that they could cultivate. For instance, I would dance a lot, so we cultivated me as a dancer. And it's a ballet, tap, jazz, and hip-hop. They heard this voice come out of my throat, and so they cultivated this vocalist, and so I began to take vocal jazz and classical and opera, trained to sing this kind of music in different languages, etc. Instruments, saxophone, the piano, etc. And so this low self-esteem became skillful, and those skills became my confidence. You see what I'm saying? And so that confidence became my guard, and the low self-esteem still lived on the inside of confidence. I know that's a mouthful, but I'm saying it because as you guys know, I've been navigating this world of dating lately. And please understand that I have dated a lot since I was about 17. Dated a lot. I get along well with guys, right? In other words, like I can hang out at a sports spot and watch games and kind of carry on. And when you're a female in those places, oftentimes you'll be found. I can hang out at band practice, and most musicians tend to be guys, and so I find myself in the company of guys often, and because I don't make believe that I'm not interested, or I don't shy away from flirting, and I'm not an over flirter, but I'm a flirter. You look nice today. Okay, I see you, Doc. Stuff like that. Kind of innocent, kind of chill, but and I see you, Doc. I see you, Doc goes a long way. And so I've been dating pretty seriously, not seriously, but pretty intensely for quite some time. And what I notice is that in the dating world, I lead with my skill set. I lead with my skill set. Now, this doesn't mean that I walk into dates and say, excuse me, I am a Grammy Award winning recording artist, and that's not what I mean. What I mean is the same confidence that I found in dancing, the same confidence that I found in playing instruments, the same confidence that is the band geek is the same confidence that walks into the date. And so now I am someone who is leaning on, well, if I can do that, then I can do this. And I walk into the dating realm very nonchalantly with an, oh, I got this attitude, as opposed to a humble, sweet, gentle curiosity. And a humble, sweet, gentle guard down so that if you're curious, you can find me out. You feel me? I'm talking about. A couple of weeks ago, I did a podcast and I talked about the three types of men. I said there's slow-paced men, I said there's sex-paced men, and I said there's fast-paced men. But I gotta give the fellas a break, right? And none of those were fellas bashing. Those were all really fun, cool things that I've found as different archetypes men have. But like we do sometimes when we see an archetype, we kind of get nervous. Is that a judgment? Are you calling me out? And so in all fairness, I have decided to call myself out. Out of the three types of men, sex-paced, slow-paced, fast-paced, I have decided to name myself and then compare it to how the fellas do it. Tell me if you're following me. I have decided to call myself a fast-paced woman. Oh boy, a fast-paced woman. Now, when we were talking about the fellas, we were talking about different qualities and traits that make up a fast-paced man. He kind of moves really fast, and as a woman, you feel like you got to kind of catch up with him. Babe, where you going? I want to be by your side, but you're running. Well, as a fast-paced woman, there are three qualities or characteristics that I've decided to name. And in the comments, I need you to tell me if you just kind of agree. Also tell me if you don't. You know I love a good debate. Or just a good conversation, a good exchange. Thing number one that a fast-paced woman does is think fast. My mind as a fast-paced woman is always creating something new. Inside of my mind, there is a list at all times of some new idea and all of its components. I walk around with a computer. My note section in my phone is packed, full of subjects, things I thought about yesterday, things I thought about today, things I thought about a week ago. And I even transfer them into a formal PDF document once they seem clear enough. I am always thinking up some new idea. And the ego part of me would think that these are big ideas. But the fast-paced girly that is me just constantly just has these ideas. The hard part about having these ideas is, who do you talk to? It's a new 6 ideas every single day. Is there always going to be somebody that you bring this stuff to? Well, we'll get into that in a second. The second thing that a fast-paced girly does is she trusts her instincts. I trust my instincts and I form relationships quickly. Doesn't take me a long time to be like, yeah, we see eye to eye, let's do this. Seconds, a few minutes. Doesn't take me a long time to form relationships and trust my instincts. I trust my instincts quickly as a fast-paced woman. Listen, tell me in the comments if you're getting uncomfortable, because as soon as we say that a woman moves fast, we start saying other things about her, and it's not fair. We don't do that to guys. Thing number 3 is I take up space confidently. And remember, earlier on we were talking about the difference between confidence and self-esteem. And I'd like to kind of break that down a little bit as far as I am concerned. The difference between confidence and self-esteem, again, is confidence is a learned skill set that you're comfortable putting out in front of other people. A learned skill set that I can put out in front of other people, or a God-given skill set that I am confident in God's ability on the inside of me that I can put out in front of other people. Maybe you are a prophet and you were given that innate ability to prophesy. And because God gave it to you, you believe that it was a real ability. And so now you are comfortable prophesying. Yeah, of course, there's some trepidation, some discomfort sometimes. It's a little awkward, right? But overall, it's something that you can say that you do, right? If you get to know somebody on the first date and a second date goes and third date goes, by the time you get to the third date, you might be able to say, yeah, I'm kind of a prophet. Or maybe you're a preacher, or maybe you're a worship leader. You have this thing, Marshawn Daniels calls it Godfidence. Confidence. So the third part of being a fast-paced woman is confidence in my skill set. And the other side of what looks like a confidence, if you have it, is self-esteem. And when you don't have a self-esteem is based on an unconditional love. So not conditioned on your mastery of skill sets, not conditioned on whether or not you're a prophet or a preacher or a teacher or whatever. It's not conditioned on that. It's this kind of love of yourself, regardless of what you can and can't do. So what if you have been singing for 72 years and you just hit 91 years old and your voice becomes raspy and you don't sing anymore? Do you still have your self-esteem? Your confidence was wrapped up in your singing voice. Do you still have your self-esteem? And so I'm not saying that a fast-paced woman has a high self-esteem. I'm not saying that. I just want to make that clear, because a lot of times we see these confident women and they getting all the guys and they out here dating profusely. You feel me? I'm talking about. And they ain't got no self-esteem. By the time they get into this date, by the time they make the relationship official, they can't stay in the relationship because all they were able to do was lead with their skill set. Lead with the same attitude that they have on stage at the restaurant. Lead with the same, I'm about to kill this on the date. So there's no get to know me. There's no vulnerability, because you are doing what? Performing. I am constantly performing. So I have to let my guard down. I got to let my guard down. There is a new and incredible individual on the internet who just went viral. His name is Savant the Prodigy. He recently went public with the fact that he is autistic. And he is calling it a diff-ability, which just goes to say that he is different in his way of functioning, in his way of his abilities. And he talked about how he was going to begin to unmask publicly. The internet went wild because his diff-ability freed up so many hundreds of thousands of people to say, I may not be on the spectrum, but what would have happened if I followed the footsteps of this brave soul and said, I'm ready to let my guard down and let people see who I really am. He began to cry when he saw the comments section and how much love we showered him with for putting himself out there. It was such a beautiful sight to see his shoulders fall and his guard fall and his burnout fall. He had to be so tired of masking. Masking can be exhausting. Putting a guard up can be exhausting. Now, I won't compare what it is to be autistic or on the spectrum of autism, but I will celebrate what Savant gave to everybody in that day. He gave people a key to freedom that said, if I can do it, you can too. I'm telling you, I was so inspired in that moment to put my hands up and say, you know what, Chrisette? You don't have to carry with yourself 18 years of fear that people will see who you really are as yourself without your skill set, without all of that mastery confidence. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Thank you, Savant. We appreciate you. I'm proud of you. And I'm going to let my guard down too. Now, there are types of men who like these confident women. Many men like confident women. Some men can see in between the lines. I have a friend who I was dating who I will love forever. I talk about him on here often, actually. Who knows when I'm being Chrisette Michele and when I'm being Chris. And when I start, getting a little, I'm on stage, I'm performing, he'd be like, I don't care nothing about that. And he waits until I come back down. He can tell that me putting up this front is just, I'm just afraid. I'm just a little nervous. Let me guard myself. You might not like what you see if you see who I really am. That sweet side of me may only come out when we at the crib watching movies on the couch. I don't know if I'm going to bring that out at the restaurant. Men who like confident women are men who can see you fully. Who can see where you belong. And who have connects in the spaces and the places that you are growing and evolving into. I can never find men who see me fully in my confidence space. I have a very difficult time with it. As a fast-paced woman, it is difficult for me to find men who see me fully in my business space, in my performer space. They can see the sweet voice. They can see the pretty dress. They can see the makeup. They can see the girliness. They can see the softness. But as soon as I'm backstage and I'm counting the checks, soon as I'm backstage and I'm making sure everybody got paid, soon as I'm backstage and I'm checking on travel arrangements, soon as I'm backstage and I'm talking with promoters and management and agents, suddenly I can't see her. A man who likes a confident woman can see the whole entire confident you. I have a really difficult time with a man who can't see all of the confident me. A man who can see me fully and loves the confident me sees where I belong. So sometimes men will understand that this gifting or this talent usually stands behind the microphone, on a stage, in front of my band. Most of the time, they won't say at the family barbecue, hey, Chris, hit us up with a selection, stand on the picnic table. Now, my family might do that, okay? And they get a pass because I've been doing that since I was a little girl. All right? But if all of a sudden you expected me to perform on a date, pause. Or perform in front of your family because, hey, I'm bringing Chrisette Michele or whatever your name is, Harriet Susie, or you got a hair braiding salon and you come to the house and all of a sudden he's saying, can you braid my nephew's hair? He looks amazing. When you love a confident woman, you understand where her talents belong. You're not going to pull on her in the wrong spaces and places. You have respect for her talent and her skill set. You understand how hard she's worked to place it where she's placed it. And you don't pull on that. Confident woman. And then the third thing that a man who loves a confident woman can do is connect you in spaces and places that will push you forward. So no, he's not asking you to braid his nephew's hair when y'all get over to his auntie and them's house. But he might say, I got a bro who's opening up some salon suites in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's looking for a business partner. I think y'all should connect. Let me put you up on game. What do you think about that? Right? And if he can't do those three things, any of those three items, he's not disqualified, right? No, but he understands that if he is to show up in the realm of your skill set, in the realm of your confidence, in the realm of the space and place that you are skillful, he's going to bring something to the table. So I tend to have a very difficult time being a successful girly with a man who doesn't feel comfortable with my confidence. With a man who feels like my confidence is too much for him to handle. Look, nobody's asking you to handle my confidence. But if you decide to handle my confidence, it needs to be that you can see all of what it is that I'm doing. You can speak the language of what it is that I'm doing. You understand where my talent and gifting belongs. And when you decide you want to go back and forth with me, you want to have a conversation about what it is that I do, you better bring some connections to the table. You better bring a Rolodex to the table. Otherwise, back off of my job, bro. Respectfully, this is the easiest way to get a confident woman to walk away, is to meddle in what she does for a living. Chris, why do you think that keeps happening to you? Because I lead with my confidence and I lead with my skill set. I think it's my fault. I think that if I came to the table, to the dating board, with my self-esteem instead of my skill set, what I've mastered, what I'm great at, what I'm award-winning for, what I'm paid for. If I came to the table with my self-esteem, I think my relationship spaces would be much more successful. Self-esteem says that I am enough, I deserve to be here, and I am my own protector. I'm allowed to show up fully in my softness, in my sweetness, in the Holy Spirit's characteristics that are gentleness and kindness, and love, and peace, self-control, all of these things that are the Holy Spirit's characteristics. I can bring all of that beauty to the table. I can bring all of the beauty of my sweet personality. You might not see all of it on stage. I can bring the beauty of my freckled face without a bunch of makeup covering my what are these things called? My eyelids. I don't need a bunch of sparkles on my eyelids to go out on a date with you. I might not have to have on 8-inch stilettos. Remember two times, a guy was like, well, I see you wear them kind of stilettos on stage. Why you don't wear those on a date? You thought this was a show? You might get 4 or 5 inches on a date. Like, don't get me wrong. You might also get some J's. I mean, but you understand where I'm coming from. This ain't a performance. Why you bring a performance, Chris, to the date? Why are you bringing performance, Jessica, to the date? Do you have a low self-esteem? Talk to me about it in the comments. Have you ever thought about the fact that maybe when you go on dates, you lead with your accolades? You lead with your awards. You lead with your degree. You lead with your paycheck. You lead with the face that you wear at work. I'm so guilty. So I gotta let my guard down. I have to let my guard down. If you gotta let your guard down, just in the comments, just put them hands up like this. It's me, oh Lord. I gotta let my guard down. And the problem is now, because I don't want you to interfere in my business, in my confidence, in my skill set, in what I do for a living, with all this right here, your head moving around, your fingers in the air. Because I don't want you to get involved and start speaking on that, now I'm defensive on the date. I brought Mrs. Professional Chrisette Michele, a singer, to the date, and I'm mad now because you want to talk to me about singing to your cousins at the barbecue, whatever the case may be. I brought that to you. And so you start talking about well, what is it like being this, that, and the third about my job, etc. What's the business, this, that. And so because now I'm defensive on a date, what do? What do we do when they start pushing at the thing that you're real passionate about and you don't want them to have? We downplay ourselves. We start dimming our light. Well, I'm not really that big of a deal. Well, I travel a lot, but I don't really. Well, yeah, I got this particular accolade, but it don't really mean that. And you wonder why he starts to pick up on your low self-esteem. You wonder why he starts to say you seem to have some self-doubt. You wonder why he starts to say, well, maybe you need some help. We get offended by these things. Successful girls, talk to me in the comments. We get offended by a man walking into our professional life and saying, let me help you out. Why is he saying, let me help you out? Because you become distant as soon as he sees who you've decided to bring to the table and start speaking to that girl. Bring your sweetness to the table and see what happens. That's what I'm going to do. Bring your humility and your softness to the table and see what happens. That's what I'm ready to do. And girls, I'm petrified. If I don't talk about how to mix a sound check, what am I going to talk about? If I don't talk about my busy travel schedule, what am I going to talk about? You know what I'm going to talk about? How beautiful I think you are, sir. How enamored I am with you, sir. How deeply I really want a connection, sir. How long I've waited for a relationship that's meaningful, sir. I'm going to become vulnerable and interconnected with somebody. And I am petrified because why? Like a regular everyday human, I don't want my heart broken. That's normal. Self-esteem and self-protection say, I want love, and if this does not work out, I am still here for myself. I think what I lack is the mothering voice to soothe my inner child. The inner child that's afraid of abandonment. The inner child that's afraid of being left, of being hurt, of being embarrassed. Can I find words to soothe my inner child so that I can walk into a date vulnerable, without performance? What if he doesn't like how I did my eyebrows? Well, Chrissy, I like your eyebrows. I think you did a really nice job on your eyebrows. What if he doesn't like my outfit? Well, Chrissy, I like your outfit. I picked it out. I think it's really nice. We start to internalize every word that they say. We start to fear that they're not going to like or love us. And so we don't even approach the moment with any sort of softness, vulnerability, or anything that looks like a handout to connect. And me want to say men ain't safe. No, sis, you not safe. You haven't even provided a safe space for yourself on the inside of yourself. You don't even know how to speak to yourself. You don't even know how to soothe yourself. You don't even know how to encourage yourself in the Lord. God has made a beautiful thing when he made you. You can't even tell yourself that on the way into the date. You leading with your success. I'm guilty, bro. I'm guilty. So this is why I'm taking out some time to let my guard down. I have invited you guys into my place. This is my place. These are my plants. This is my actual spot. This is one of my favorite little quirky outfits. I wouldn't wear this on stage. I would just wear this, I don't know, to the library. This is just Chris. So let me The last 3 episodes, I didn't wear no makeup. I wore stuff from my boutique. Let me just let my guard down. And when I let my guard down, my clips went viral. Hundreds of thousands of views, thousands of comments across TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, social media. And I was shocked. So, oh my gosh, I was only being myself. My little silly heart glasses just for fun. I was a little afraid to show you my face without a whole bunch of makeup. So let me put some glasses on and just ease my way into this experiment of, well, what would happen if I decided to let my guard down? I'm a work in progress. The reason I love podcasting is because I get to think about and imagine what life can be, what life can look like. And I get to conduct that conversation with other human beings who are also thinking about what life is, what life can be, what life could look like if I tried this, what would happen? And then I get to chat with you all and find out in the comment section, whether it's with my thumbs or my whole hand, what you've already done to either master or understand the thing that we're talking about, or what struggles you might have in the same space. What would happen if I allowed my self-esteem to come to the table as opposed to my confidence? A fast-paced woman thinks fast, trusts her intuition really fast, takes up space confidently, but a fast-paced woman doesn't necessarily master dating as well as she masters business success, entrepreneurial success, work success, Fortune 500 success. Those are two different types of relationships, and I'm really good in the business space. I make mistakes, I'm human, but it's a place where I feel confident and safe. I want to work on letting my guard down in the interpersonal space and not leading with success. So what happens when both self-esteem and confidence are a part of the relationship? Right, you know my sweet spots, you know my soft spots, you know my gentleness, you know my warmth, you know my vulnerability. I'm able to tell you some of the things that happened in my childhood. Right, stuff I don't have to sing about, stuff I don't have to mention at work. And now you're also seeing who I am at work. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that in order for a relationship to mesh well, you have to have some understanding of who I am at work also. I need to feel respected at home. And I'm saying at home, I don't mean that I live with whoever it is that I'm dating, but I just mean, in the safe space that is our private life, I need to feel respected. I need you to have some amount of understanding of what it is that I do and think that I'm doing a pretty okay job. I need that. That's not going to happen with every single person that I date. Some people are going to think that what I do is stupid. They're going to think that I'm doing it all wrong. I've had so many relationships where people are like, you're doing it all wrong. And then I've had other relationships where people are in awe of what it is that I'm doing. I need some sense of respect for what it is that I do. And so dating is complicated and it's intricate and it's complex. And there's a full entire person, her confidence, her self-esteem, what she does for a living, who she is as a person, not necessarily the same thing. When people find out some of my quirks or the things that I don't like about my job, they are shocked. When I tell men that I don't like loud noise, they're shocked. When I tell men that I don't like large crowds, they're shocked. When I tell men that I go to bed at 9:30 at the latest every night unless I'm on the stage, they are shocked. Who I am as a person is not who I am as a professional. Those things are not the same. I am usually wearing beige, brown, tan, white, sometimes black. I'm usually wearing oil on my face and absolutely no makeup, maybe concealer, maybe some eyebrow pomade and all the things. Chrisette Michele, the artist, and Chrissy, the homie, Your girl, not the same. My hands want to be in dirt. I want to be playing in a garden. I want to be outside. I want to be taking a very, very, very long walk because I am so rambunctious on the inside that I need to calm my body down. I lift heavy weights, even though I'm juicy, to calm my body down. My life, my personal life looks nothing like this stage. I'll stop there. This is not a date. You don't need to know all this. My point is there's going to be the confident Chrisette that is the singer, or the confident you that is the professional, or whatever it is that you do great. And there's going to be the you that is the vulnerable you. The you that has some of your history on you, some of your childhood on you, some of where you came from on you. Both of those things, I think, come into dating. Tell me in the comments, what do you think? Do you think that who you are at work should coincide with who you are as a person in your dating space? When it comes to men, I take into consideration what a man does for a living. How is this money coming into the home? How are you spending that money? How are you budgeting it? What does money mean to you? How do you steward it? What's the passion like at work? How passionate are you about it? I want to know why. Because I want to know what I have to cater to when you come home. When I need to be your safe space, what are you releasing on me? If you was out in the streets doing what you do in the streets, some of that's going to be released on me when you get home. Do I have grace for that? I need my man to have grace for what I do as a professional. In the same way, I'm going to have grace for what he does as a professional. I'm not an expert. These are just my thoughts. You want your man to have grace for who you are as a professional? Or do you just want to hide it and downplay it and dim it? I'm tired of dimming my light. I'm ready to ask for grace for who I am. Can you see all of me? I gotta let my guard down. So this is why people say Jesus is my boyfriend. Oh, Chrisette, after all of that, Jesus is your boyfriend? Yeah, he's my boyfriend. And this is why they say, love your wife the way Christ loves the church, because Christ loves me first. Before you tap in and figure out, oh my goodness, I think I want this type of a woman, Jesus loves me. What you thought I was out here loveless? Sure, I got to work on loving myself, right? Don't we all? But when Jesus is your boyfriend, thinking fast is not something that you bring to your man. Thinking fast is something that you bring to your prayer life. All of these thoughts, all of these ideas, I'm saying, Lord, why do I have this desire? Why did you give me this? I don't see that thing that you've given me in my heart out in the world. How is that created? I'm bringing my fast-paced mind to the Lord. Sometimes I call what I receive streams of consciousness, because I'm saying that doesn't even exist, Lord. Did you make that up? Are you asking me to create that here on the planet? When you don't got no man, you don't get to bring all these thousand zillion ideas to a man. You bring them to the Lord. You bring them to prayer. When Jesus is your boyfriend, trusting your instincts and forming relationships becomes expecting favor in high places. Oh, I trust my instincts, and I am expecting that the Lord is going to connect me with the people that I need to be connected with in order to go where he's calling me to go, or giving me vision to go, or giving me ideation to go. This is what it's like when Jesus is your boyfriend. When Jesus is my boyfriend, taking up space becomes holding my head up in places God has called me to be. I'm going to take up space. I'm going to be confident. In the places God's called me to be, I'm going to have, again, Marshawn Evans Daniels calls Godfidence. I'm going to have that. By the way, if you don't know who Marshawn Evans Daniels is, she's an incredible author and speaker and coach, and she has an incredible book called Believe Bigger, which I absolutely adore. I have given it and offered it to anyone that I've mentored in the past. If you don't have Believe Bigger, pick it up if you're looking for Godfidence. But yeah, when Jesus is my boyfriend, Everything that I would be giving to this man, I'm giving to the Lord, or I'm experiencing as a child of the King. So that finally when Sir comes, if Sir comes, I'm already in flow. I'm already grooving. I'm not stopped up because I didn't have a man. Oh, well, I couldn't start my business because I ain't have no man to fund it. I don't got no connections because I didn't have no man to walk me into the room. I've said that before. I've had major opportunities where I was too afraid to walk in as a woman, and so I found a man to walk in with me. What if Jesus wants to walk into rooms with you right now as your boyfriend? Until he finally sends you who it is that he's sending you. What if he needs you to practice being confident first? What if he needs you to practice knowing that you are comfortable doing what it is that he's called you, so that by the time this man comes along, you're not practicing confidence anymore. You're vulnerable. You're self-aware. You can bring gentleness to the table with your man. Softness and sweetness to the table with your man. You're not coming to your man with work issues about how you need his money to help you do this, and how if he don't got no connects in this place. I've seen many women in the music business solely date men in the music business in order to get where it is that they want to go. What would happen if you were brave enough to say, God put me here? God sent me here. What happens when Chrisette is brave enough to say, God put me here, so that when it's time to have this safe space with my man, the one who's going to love me as Christ loved the church, all the characteristics of the Holy Spirit can pour out of me and be of service to him. That love, that grace that you want to have with your man, that gentleness. Confidence versus self-esteem. Gots to let my guard down. Gots to let that confidence just chill out for a second, sis. So today I admit to you that I have been needy. I've been the needy one. I've been the codependent one. I'm going to show up petrified and afraid, only strong and tough in my confidence, but without my self-esteem, without my self-soother, without my Chrissy, you're going to be okay. However you show up is all right, girlfriend. I'm here with you. Jesus is your boyfriend right now. This is date 1. Jesus is your boyfriend. Jesus is with you. I can lead with that sweetness because it comes from Jesus. The Holy comes from the Holy Spirit in me. It's okay for me to walk in that. Walk in the Spirit. I can walk in the Spirit on a date. I'm very excited about this date that I'm about to go on. I don't know who it's going to be with, but I'm excited about it. I'm sitting there imagining it. I'm going to be so nice because Jesus is with me. What you going to do? What you going to do? He's my boyfriend right now. Now, I may not say that on a date. I don't think guys really enjoy hearing us say that. They be like, well, what you want me to be then? I don't think I'm going to say, because Jesus is my boyfriend. I don't think I'm going to say that. But that will definitely be my posture. I come in sweet as a dove because Jesus is my boyfriend. And I'm safe enough in the arms of Jesus Christ to walk into this date safe, able to soothe myself through the encouragement. Can you encourage yourself in the Lord? I want to walk into dates like that, with that much peace, with that much comfort, vulnerability, warmth. I want to do that. Gots to let my guard down. I'm ready. You ready to let your guard down? I mean, you want to do it together? Y'all like these dating talks? I didn't think I would like them, but the more I talk through it, the more the conversation gets juicy between me and you. I'm kind of enjoying where our relationship is going. We kind of talking our way through dating. It feels good here. So this is my face. This is my home. Welcome to my humble abode. These are my recording tools and my little recording equipments. These are actually items that I use in the studio to record vocals. This is actually something that you would record with in the actual studio. This is Logic on the computer here. This is an actual dupe for the Sony C800 for all of you music geeks who love microphones. It's a warm audio, a dupe for the Sony C800. My little camera. This is my crib. This is my face. This is my speaking voice. I used to hide this voice a lot. I used to get real loud if it was a hip-hop event or a radio show, and I'm going to get real soft if it was a yoga. Now I'm just like, hey, I'm a myriad of sounds and textures. Jesus loves me. He made me. He's my boyfriend right now. He's going to be my boyfriend. And someday, one day, someone will be able to keep up with fast-paced Chrissy and sweet-paced, Holy Spirit-filled, warm, human, learning, need my flaws to be covered in love, Chrissy. And until then, I'll stay in flow. I'll continue to receive downloads. I'll continue to write them down. I'll continue to pray about them and say, Lord, what would you like to do with this? I'll continue to allow him to put desires in my heart. I'll continue to walk them out as best as I know how. I'll continue to steward what it is that he gives me. Until this man comes along that can love fast-paced Chrissy the way Christ loves the church. That's all I had to say today, child. I'm nervous to put this out, honey. But I'm going to go over in my kitchen. I got a flight to catch tomorrow. See, there I go leading with my confidence again. See, as soon as I'm nervous, I start talking about my success in my job and what I do. I'm going to go into the kitchen, put the computer on the table, open up Final Cut Pro, edit this episode, and hope you love it. I love you. Peace.